Hello. 0% voice, lol. Hi. Hi. How are you? I had some shit I wanted to rant about, but I feel like, I feel like it's hard to talk about things ever nowadays because everybody wants to pick apart everything to a degree. But there's something on my heart that I want to talk about. And I think I got like my anger part out of it, so I want to try to deliver the message in a more, hey, have some compassion kind of way. I just been seeing a lot on Twitter and the internet in general. It's a lot of complaints about artists not doing enough right now. And people being upset that they're not getting more music and that they're not getting what they want and that they need more content, give me content. And hold on, let me try to channel my spirit here. And I just want to say I think it's unfair because I don't think that y'all realize the amount of work, money, and dedication that goes into even being an artist right now in general. Like, if you're doing it, it's because you love to do it or you're in a contract at this point, to be honest, because shit is really fucking rough. Like, we also experienced the pandemic, you know what I mean? And for like 90% of us, our income comes from our live touring. Our income comes from merch sales. Our income comes from, things that people need to buy. And obviously it's a really tough time for everybody when it comes to money because shit is fucking real right now. Like, we are in the middle of one of the craziest collapses I've ever seen of an empire. I mean, granted, not the craziest. There's been a lot of empire collapses, but like the way that shit's moving right now, capitalism is just exponentially getting more aggressive and lethal. And we as artists are just expected to kind of deal with it and still be able to produce all the time for you. And it's not like y'all buy our music. You don't buy music. You pay a subscription to a company, a tech company, who gives me maybe 0.0001% of what the fuck I make off of my music, right? I think T-Pain definitely tweeted just the like percentages of how we get paid off of streams. And it's whack. It's actually kind of wild. And so I think that people are expecting a lot out of people who are giving everything they have and just literally trying to survive right now for the most part. And I think that there's a really deep lack of empathy, because I'm sorry, but like the majority of us got through this pandemic and have been getting through this pandemic through art. Like, we have been able to survive because we're listening to the music that we love and we're, creating dances and being creative on TikTok and like doing all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not lost on me that we are also in a space of disconnection and confusion and depression and anxiety about the future and the way that we're even gonna make it like through this moment, because it's very obvious that political figures do not give a single fuck about us and what's happening to us. It's pretty obvious that the rent keeps going up and the wages are staying the same or going down. There's plenty of articles about like people quitting and like not putting up with the conditions that they're in work right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's unfair the amount of, or the lack of empathy for the artists right now, like what we actually are going through. It takes so much money to produce one piece of content for you. And not only that, we don't get to see the outcome of that. We have people who help us make this content. I'm talking videos, I'm talking music videos, I'm talking albums, I'm talking artwork, I'm talking all of the things that y'all consume in 2 seconds. And you're like, oh my God, this was amazing for a week. And then, okay, what's next? That shit costs money. That shit costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money, and it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time and dedication if you want to do it right. And yeah, there's people putting out shit that, they're putting it out quickly and whatever. But also, there are a lot of people who are just trying to survive right now, like dead ass, like trying to make it through, trying to pay their rent without fucking live music as an even option for the most part. Because if you're not a big name who's on a label, like, for the most part, like, it's really hard to even get gigs because shit is booked up if it is, or it gets canceled all of a sudden, and you put all this money into preparing a show and then it gets pulled out from under you and all of that money's wasted. I'm blessed as fuck that I was able to go out last year at the end of the year. But like a lot of these things, the amount of money that it takes to put into it is the amount of money that it takes to put into it. And you end up with $0 at the end because of everything that you put in. What's being given back to you is like zero because you're out here breaking even because you got to pay your people. Because it isn't just me on stage. It isn't just me doing shit. It's a whole village. It takes a village to be able, especially for women, to be able to do shit in this industry. Because y'all want us to be dressed to the nines in designer, and you want us to be dripping in all kinds of diamonds, and you want us to be, out here on our like 10,000 game, but that shit costs money. And again, like, unless you're signed to a major label or you have somebody contributing to your bill and paying your bills for you, it's rough. Like, a lot of the people that you see that are dressed up and in all of these, designer shit, those designers designed them shit, sent them shit, or they send it to them so that they can wear it so that you can buy it. So that you can buy it. They're not spending their money on that shit. 99% of the shit you see is a facade. And I don't know. I've just been looking on Twitter and people are like, oh, our faves are doing nothing. Nobody's dropping nothing. Nobody's doing nothing. Yeah, because we're trying to survive. We're trying to make it through. We're trying to feed this insatiable need for content from us. Because again, we're the reason shit is still going. We're the reason that people haven't completely lost their minds at this point, because it's just the reality that we're living in right now is terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying to see the way that this government's moving, the way that shit's moving, and the way that people are just the way that profit is being, I mean, it always has been in the capitalist society, to be fair. But it's really profit over people. It's really profit over people in every fucking industry that exists. And I just wanted to, I wanted to share my feelings about this because it's upsetting and insulting a lot of the time when people are like, oh, you're not doing enough. Oh, you need to do more. You need to give us more. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do the other. Like, y'all know a fucking thing about what goes on behind the scenes. The majority of y'all are not in this industry. The majority of y'all have a facade as the truth in your reality about what it means to be an artist. I'm like nervous talking about this because I feel like it just comes down to shut the fuck up. You're so entitled, because a lot of y'all think that we're these rich, high rolling motherfuckers. And if we're not on that level, if we're not out there talking about how much money we have, or which, by the way, 90% of the time the people doing that is they're getting that money from other entities. You know what I'm saying? Some are business people and some are entrepreneurs and have been able to build their own successful businesses and be able to have that kind of income flowing to them. But people who just do art, like just artists, like that's all they do. They don't have, they haven't reached their platform to a point where they can, create a business or what be it. They don't know how to run businesses. They don't want to be business people. They just want to be artists, Shit is rough. It's not casual to be out here doing this. This is passion. This is passion. Because if it were up to me, I would be in the studio all day making music, no problem. And, to an extent I can be. And I'm grateful and I'm blessed because I have, my own stuff that I can do stuff with. But at the same time, I don't always have the skill to be able, I'm not an engineer. I'm still learning. I need to pay an engineer if I want to work with an engineer. I need to pay producers if I want to work with producers. You feel me? And then when you guys go and you listen to our music, you're listening to our music on Spotify or Apple. They don't pay us. They pay themselves. You know? It's not a secret. I'm not dissing nobody, but it's just the truth. And so it's really like, I don't know, I've been for the past like month or so, like 2 months probably, I've just been home. I haven't had any work to do. I've just been like contemplating life and taking a break and waiting for opportunities to come in, which also, by the way, keep getting canceled because of all kinds of reasons, you know? And just in that pensive state, in this state where I'm like, oh, I'm not doing enough, you know? It's just daunting to feel like it's never enough. It's completely insatiable, the way that people expect us to navigate this world, as artists. I mean, I think it's the same across industries in a lot of ways, but especially like the live music industry, like people have really taken hits, bro. Like it's not casual. And again, it takes a lot to produce one piece of content that y'all consume with this insatiable energy of you need to give me more. And a lot of the people who are giving you a lot is because they have enough to give you a lot, and they have people paying their paying their bills for them, you know? And unfortunately, the sacrifice of that is if somebody's paying your bills, that's on you to pay back later. And you're never going to see any money off of your art, you know? Like labels are a bank. They give you loans. If they give you $200,000 up front, you got to pay that $200,000 back. And by the way, that's just up front for you, right? That's just for you to get your little $200,000 here. This is your advance to go make art, right? And then you go and you make your art. And in the process of making that art, it's, let's say, $50,000 more on top of that. You got a marketing budget that's $200,000 more on top of that, if you're lucky. I'm an independent artist. These are not my realistic numbers at all. But for people who are on major labels that you see as like successful artists, right? So you got all of that, plus, you know, executives going out to dinners at Nobu and charging that back to your project. And you got, you know, people out here taking cuts and whatnot, and you have to pay your entire team, which is 25 to 30% of income, depending on where you're at and how you work. And then whatever you make, you got to invest back in yourself because you got to keep making content. I'm not out here in makeup 24/7. I'm not out here in designer 24/7. I'm wearing Victoria Monet's merch right now. Actually, I'm wearing Vic's merch and my merch. Look. Got Jauregui on the ass, right? You see it? You see it? Like, I don't spend my days... I mean, I know that I should. I know that I've been given all of this, like, you got to make content to be anything nowadays situation, especially with everybody. And, you know, I'm working on it. I'm getting to a point where I understand the importance of it, especially like TikTok even out here paying people, giving residuals, you know? But, like, I don't know. I'm just proposing empathy. I'm proposing empathy. I'm proposing that you understand that it's not because we don't want to give you art. We live for that. That's why the fuck we're alive. We make art because we make art because we make art, you know? Like, I make art behind closed doors that y'all never ever see because that's what the fuck I do. Naturally. But in order to package it in such a way where y'all will even accept it from me, where y'all will even be like, oh yeah, this was good. This was good enough. She looked good enough. She did well enough. There's months, years of work, of preparation, and of money. You guys do not understand the mechanics unless you do it. And I just feel I don't know, man. I was really angry earlier. I started venting to the camera, like pretending that I was gonna go live, lol. And then I was just like, this is gonna get me in trouble. But also, like, you're very unaware and insensitive. And the way that y'all talk about people on Twitter, bro, like, it's nasty. There's so much entitlement and there's so much judgment, bro. Like, so much fucking judgment. And comparison and bitches just, like, expecting so much that they will never do. That they could never do. Even your faves who do have the major record labels and whatever are going through it mentally. This is a tough time for all of us. Just because we're expected to be the entertainers through the process doesn't mean that we don't have fucking feelings. That we're not human beings. Also going through a fucking pandemic. My grandpa just died of COVID. Of COVID. With COVID, whatever. You know? Esto no es, oh, entra y sale y haz lo que tú quieras. No, this is a hard-ass industry to be in before all of this. This takes work and dedication and sleepless nights and sacrifice to get one piece of content out there that y'all eat up in 0.2 seconds and forget about or call a flop because it wasn't in a fucking chart. You know? I don't know. That's how I feel right now. So again, I'm just asking y'all for empathy. I'm asking y'all to understand that there is so much more to it. Than you even think, than you even know, than you can even have the capacity to understand because you don't do it. Because you don't do it. It's not what you do. And that's okay. Because it's not what we're all supposed to do, you know? And I just want to send, like, love to all of my fellow creatives who are out here fucking roughing it and just trying to pay rent. Trying to pay rent. Getting their shows canceled left and right, having people bail on them, having labels tell them, oh, you're not worth my investment anymore, so I'm going to just shelve you. You can't go anywhere else, but I'm going to shelve you. Deal with it. During this time, I was about to be in that scenario. If I wouldn't have gotten out of the contract that I was in, like, I literally would be fucked right now. Y'all wouldn't be getting any music from me, probably. I definitely wouldn't have been able to drop my EP. That half of y'all haven't even listened to. Y'all want music, and then you don't even listen to what the fuck we're doing. Or you listen to it for 2 seconds and you're like, eh. This isn't what's popular, so. This isn't what everybody else likes, so. Like, I don't know. Y'all expect way too much and do nothing. Do nothing to support. Or do very little to support. I don't think y'all understand. Again, we don't get paid for our music. We have to beg for pennies. And then y'all want me to be doing all kinds of... to sell it to you? Like, nah. I'm gonna make, like... It's not to say that I'm not going to make content for you. I do make content. It's just not it's not something that comes natural to me to be a TikToker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying, I'm learning, I'm moving in that kind of, I understand that the times have changed and that's just moving the way it does and the kids feel the way that they do about things. But like, it's a learning curve for me and a lot of us to have to understand that we have to be fucking content creators now in order, free content creators now. Free, for free, for free. Not like y'all are paying us to make these TikToks, okay? Like, you're not paying me. I don't know, man. I just wanted to say that it was like really heavy on my heart because I just saw this like viral tweet that was like, oh, all of us are bored right now because our faves are doing nothing. None of our faves are doing anything. It's like, I want you to really assess that. Like, why aren't your faves entertaining you right now? Can you really not like conceptualize that we are also going through this moment with you all? Not every single artist is rich as fuck and banking like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, a lot of those artists that you see that have that kind of money and that flaunt it like that is because they have other businesses that support their careers. They have other negocios. They're entrepreneurs in other ways. You know? Engagement is what gets you endorsement, you know? And what, I have to sell you brands in order to make money? I don't know. I wanted to make music. That's what I make music and I write poems. You know? It's just interesting for it's just interesting. What's expected? Anyways, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. Ooh, woo, woo. You know what I mean? Remember that song? That was a great one. Y'all loved that song. Y'all loved that song. Anyways, how are you guys doing? How are you? How are you feeling? Shit is real right now, man. I don't share a lot of my thoughts because bitches are sheep. But it's rough out here, and I hope you're protecting yourself. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're taking care of your immune systems. I hope that you are figuring out how to survive right now. And so we're all in that same boat right now. We're all here watching these motherfucking billionaires talking about, oh, I'm gonna put a microchip in your brain so you can buy more stuff from me. Like, what? Nobody asked for that, sir. Or like, hey, hop into the metaverse real quick so that you don't have to look at the world burning around you. Buy more stuff digitally. Like, nah, I don't want to live in my phone. Does anyone else feel that? Like, I don't want to live in my phone. I like living outside in this world that I landed in. Like, I feel like we forget how magical we are. And we forget how magical it is to be alive. And we're being programmed on a daily basis to be living in fear. And by the way, fear frequency 100% affects your immune system. Like, there's another thing. Y'all are shitting on people about NFTs. I just saw a comment about that. Y'all are like, oh, fuck these NFTs. Why the fuck are all these artists doing NFTs? Blah, 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 NFTs. Yeah, because it's one of the only ways that we can make tangible money. It's one of the only ways that we can actually, what we make is monetized is monetized to the point where we get a direct deposit from our art. We're so used to making shit for other people to exploit in this industry. And you're so used to that. Like, you're so used to paying $9 a month and that's it, to listen to whatever the fuck you want. And go on YouTube for free and watch whatever the fuck you want. That when we come out with like, hey, we're putting our stuff out in such a way where we get to profit off of our art, y'all call it selfish. When Jay-Z tried to do Tidal being, by the way, the streaming service that pays us the most, not to say that it pays us a lot, but it pays us the most. Everybody wants to shit, oh, these elitist artists, they want more money. Like, no, we just want to be compensated for our work and not have to split it with 10,000 people before we even see a penny. You know? Like, y'all really don't understand this industry. You guys are entertained. It's the entertainment industry. You see what they want you to see. You read the articles that they put in your face. The algorithms are fucking rigged. You see who they want you to see. And they shadow ban whoever they don't want you to see. I got shadow banned for a little bit. And that, by the way, detrimentally affects a career. Because if you don't have enough engagement, or your engagement goes down, then brands are like, she's falling off. We're not really going to invest in that. Ustedes no entienden. Ustedes sinceramente no entienden. A bitch just wants... You know what I really want, guys? I want to frolic in an uncontaminated water source. Naked. And sing songs and eat fruit. That's my, paradise in my brain. That's what the fuck I know I was here to do. I know that, when I'm in a river or a lake or, a ocean situation, I'm like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. But nah, we gotta be out in this cold, cruel-ass world where exploitation is the norm. Super norm. If you're not being exploited, you're like, what? All of us, though. I'm not even just talking about artists in that regard. We're all getting fucked right now. Bitch, you don't think that they're doing all of this on purpose? You don't think that the cost of goods has gone up for a reason? The cost of living has gone up exponentially since we went inside. Since they put us inside. That rent is going up. The price of food, especially the healthy food that'll keep you safer, going up. The amount of homeless people that I see on the street, going up. The amount of people that are in dire need of assistance and getting zero assistance, going up. The audacity of the government, going up. They're like, oh, y'all don't care anymore. Cool. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want. Our voting rights casually being stripped away. All of the bills being passed for people to not learn about critical race theory. The amount of money they're putting into police budgets and military budgets to make more nuclear shit and have more people patrolled and exploited. It's just getting very real. And I don't say that with a doom and gloom attitude of fuck all of this, even though I feel like that a lot of the time. A lot of the time I want to just completely divest and disappear, to be honest. But I know that I was created to help build a new world. That's part of my purpose. I know that I was created to talk with y'all about the realities that we're in and how we can connect with ourselves more and open up to our truths more and follow our hearts instead of following money. Because you're literally sold on a daily basis that in order to be happy or worthy, that you got to have expensive shit and be touting expensive shit and be looking expensive and all this stuff. But like, what is that piece of clothing that you aren't even going to wear again because you already wore it on Insta even going to do for you? Except contribute to like the amount of waste that we have on this planet at this point. Like, there's some real life shit going on right now. And I just want to like break the fourth wall and let you know, like, artists are human beings. We're humans. We have hearts. We're probably the deepest feelers that are on the planet. Because we literally transmute our emotions into music for you. We're not robots. We're not all filthy rich to the point where we can be gastando y gastando y gastando dinero como quiera. A lot of our money spending is intentional. All the money that I make, I put right back into my fucking career because I'm independent. Everything that I've made has gone right back into making more. And I made that choice. I made the choice to not be exploited for an upfront check. That wasn't enough anyway. And it was a choice. Let me tell you, it wasn't a choice. I 100% knew what I was getting into, but I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm grateful no matter what, because I know that had it gone any other way, I wouldn't be able to be giving y'all music. And that's all I fucking want to. I just want to make music. I want to make music and I want to perform it for you. I want to sing. I like to sing. But I just want you to know it is not easy. And when your faves aren't giving you what you want, it's not because they don't want to give you the world. It's because they're going through it. Or they're preparing it. And it takes longer than you think. Especially when you have all kinds of fucking loops and bounds to get through before anybody even signs off that you can release something, you know? Increíble. I'm gonna pull a card for the collective. You guys cool with that? That's what I feel right now. Like, let me just be guided. What do we gotta tell everybody? Should I give you guys a Rumi card? Those are kind of long. They're good, but they're long. If you don't mind me, actually, fuck it. I'm gonna read it to you. You guys are gonna sit there and let me read you a long card. Let me get this propped up. This is my Rumi Oracle deck. Rumi is a poet and a guide of mine. And I want to see what message he has for this collective based off this conversation. because that's how I feel. That's what my spirit's telling me to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. Some fell out. It says the courage of your love. Oh, morning. Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadows. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashlight. I do not bleat at you like a sheep, for to startle you from your slumber, I need to roar like a lion. You must awake, my beloved. There is no time to waste, for the wolves are circling, hungry for sacred flesh. So I shall roar mightily, and although at first you recoil in fear, soon enough you will see the wolves. So on point. I love it. I love the spirits, man. They be talking. Anyways, let's get back into it. Yeah. Okay. You become aware and graceful to have been thus awoke. And grateful, sorry. Ah, yes. You remember that you have been a precious human life to protect. You fear me no more. You thank me. You jump on my back as if you were a warrior astride a wild mount. You roar then along with me, awakening the others as we cause the ground to rumble, disturbing those even in their deepest slumber. You, like me, are a fierce lion, not a lamb to be led to so many slaughters, the variety and opportunity for which is available in terrible abundance in our world. There's a Sufi story about a mother with her breast leaking milk, excuse me. She loses her child, and once she finds him again, instantly lets him suckle for as long as he needs. A Sufi master nearby says to his students, "Do you think she would throw her baby into the fire?" And the students all say, "No, of course not." And the master replies, "Allah loves his children more than she, with enough tenderness to throw them into the fire." So it is with love. At first, as a young heart, you only want comfort for your beloved. You cannot bear the thought of pain within them, even for a moment. Your own suffering is easier than bearing the suffering of your beloved. That young heart grows wise through experience. It becomes an elder, an ancient heart tempered by grace and rendered strong with compassion. This is the great heart that can hold the suffering of the world within it, and yet still find space for peace, for sweetness, for tenderness, and for rapture. This is the heart that shines with courageous love. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgment, whilst gently holding it in the truth of what the suffering really is, the drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform dead wood into living fire. The drying out is a challenging and enduring process that we're going through right now as a collective. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. So many lapses will happen before the heart grows strong enough to overpower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. When it is ready to surrender in such a way, the heart is free and allowed to simply be. Even the mind then, finally freed from shackles and joyful submitting to love, declares, "Let love be, in whatever way it shall be. I can bear it. I shall take refuge in it. I shall not turn away from it. I am that love." You are an ancient one with a heart older than the mountains. You are being asked to free yourself from the too small loves of the youthful heart and come to understand and accept the wisdom of your mature heart. Your mature heart is not cursed with hardness or detachment, but with compassion and tenacious devotion to the cause that is most real and matters most, the quest for life of the human soul. Your ancient heart loves the soul and will roar like the lion of love at the wolves that would casually devour it. So trust in the courage of your heart. You are not cruel. You are not hard. You are not careless. You are passion personified. You are the lion of love. So allow yourself to be the lion, not the lamb. Stand true in your own heart. Cause trouble. Make noise. Be proud and be mighty. Then rest. After all that savage divinity, rest and restore, for day after day you shall claim your holy lands and refuse to give them up to less noble creatures. Though you survey their manipulations and attempts to claim power with compassion, you do not underestimate them or relax your vigilance. You shall not allow for even a moment that falsehood be accepted as truth in your heart. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you. You are not to give into less than you are worth. What the fuck have I been talking about this live, man? Or to the shaming stories of others of our culture that would cast your regal lion nature into the falsehood of beliefs that you have no choice or power. You are not to give into the idea that you are a victim and cannot free yourself from your suffering, or that you are less than any other. These are lies. They are petty deceptions so unworthy of you. Do not believe them. Roar at them until the weak glue holding them together melts under the fire of your holy breath, and they lie dismembered and powerless at your feet. Then intend that those bits and pieces in decay are lovingly returned to the Earth Mother, through whom they can be used to fertilize new life. No matter how unsolvable the issue appears to be, there is and shall be a victory beyond it, and it is imminent. This oracle comes to you to let you know that you are empowered to succeed. You have what is required within to do it, and that the time for your victory is drawing near. Bless up. So do not give up. Instead, do the sacred honoring ritual as needed, and when you feel so inclined, open your mouth and roar love from the very depths of your being. Create a sound of truth for yourself. In that sound, you will hear the mightiest one of all roaring along with you, saying, yes, love, I am with you, and together we claim divine victory. So we roar. How we roar. A message from the divine. It's gonna be my send-off. A message from the divine. I hope that spoke to you, if it was said in your language. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. But yeah, we need to wake up. We need to wake up our souls, man. We're all out here still trying to live in superficial reality online. And it's causing a deficit of empathy that we need as a collective to survive this. We need to have compassion for one another. We need to have compassion for people that are getting us through these things. Like, it's cool to be that. It's cool to be compassionate. It's cool to be kind. It's cool to have like just pause before you send that kind of shit to somebody. Think about how your words are going to impact somebody. Think about how your energy is going to impact somebody. How are you moving through this world right now? Like, what is your practice to stay in loving community with people around you? And especially within yourself, honestly, because I feel like the real deficit is self-love, right? I've always felt like the real issue frequency. I want to be a frequency that people are attracted to because they see themselves in me and they feel naturally inclined to engage with what I'm saying and naturally inclined to connect with what I'm putting out in the world, you know? I don't want to have to be thinking about 750 other ideas about how I can make somebody like me or think I'm funny. I'm funny. You know? This is a serious life, but I'm funny. I don't know. I think this world is so beautiful. And I think we have so much potential to be really, really beautiful. And if we invested more in our self-care and we invested more in all that shit that we project onto everybody else all the time on the internet. Because like if you're in people's comments and you're out here sending negativity to people, it's because it's in you, baby. If you're out here calling somebody cringe, it's because you have internalized shame that doesn't allow you to get out of your comfort zone. You can never do what that person that's making you cringe did. Y'all just be insulting and making fun of and just saying nasty shit to anybody. Children, babies, fucking all kinds of people. Not allowing people to grow and move past their mistakes. It's a huge one in our society right now. And that's not to say don't hold people accountable. That's to say allow people to grow and be better versions of themselves. Don't fucking freeze them in the self that hurt people. Why would you want them to stay that? Why would you want them to stay like that? Why wouldn't you want them to know better and learn and move on and not be on that tip anymore? And grow. That's literally what this life is about. Earth is a school. Earth is a soul school. We come into these little fucking 3D meat sacks that are fragile as fuck. Okay. Made out of organic material, carbon and water and electricity. Like we literally are magic. Me being able to snap is magic. Me being able to speak to you is magic. Us being able to share space through time and space right now on the internet. Like what? The internet is fucking magic. We take it so for granted and we use it to like one up each other instead of like connect. That's what the fuck this is about. We gotta connect, man. I'm like, my nose is itchy as fuck. and gratitude and move in that kind of energy instead of walking around with entitlement and projection all the time. Like, you deserve to find a space where you can come from that place. You know? Like, you deserve healing. Even if, like, people told you you can't get any better than what you are right now, like, you deserve to get better. You deserve to know better. And then act accordingly, because that's really what it is at the end of the day, is action. A lot of these bitches on the internet are just talk. Like, everybody's just talking all day long and saying all kinds of fucking shit out their ass and not at all considering that we're all in a super fragile state right now. Just trying to figure it out and continue navigating. For the sake of our future generations, for the sake of... Oh, shit. Give artists a fucking break. You know? Just give them a break. We are really out here trying to survive. We are really out here still trying to make amazing art for you, given the circumstance, given the budgets, and given the moment. We're really important, and we need support from y'all. We need support. Even if that's just, again, compassion, empathy. Understanding that if your fave's not giving you what you want, it's not because they don't want to give it to you. I guarantee there's a back end you can't talk about, because most people are in situations where they cannot talk about their reality with you. And again, when I say artists, y'all automatically will go to the chart toppers and think that that's what everybody is. There are artists who do not have any means of support, or very little means of support, who are breaking their backs to make something that they're proud of, to give it to you, and then y'all shit on it or call it low budget. Or consume it in a flash and expect more the next day. I just, just ask you to tap in with yourself. Tap in with you, tap in with where you're at, and extend what you want extended to yourself. If you want people to have compassion for you when you fuck up, or have grace for your growth, because not everybody Nobody deserves to feel disconnected from what they love to do, what their passion is. No one deserves to have to work a job for less than minimum wage, or minimum wage, that's what it is right now. Fuck, even if we put the minimum wage to $15 an hour, that shit still ain't enough. Like, there are so many people out here with 2-3 jobs to support their dreams or pay their rent. Like, we really, really need to cultivate compassion as a collective. And like that voice, I've always, like I said, it's like the little white supremacist in my brain. We were all given that white supremacist in our brain that says, hey, you need to work harder for me. You need to work harder and sacrifice yourself and sacrifice your love and sacrifice your time on this planet. It's so precious, guys. We're here for a fucking, it's so fast. I'm 25, bro. Like, I was literally 15 2 seconds ago in my brain. In 5 years, I'm gonna be 30. Like, what? Like, what? La vida pasa súper, súper, súper fast. Rápido. Así de rápido. You gotta live your fucking life. And living your life in this constant comparison and living your life in this constant judgment of self and others is not it. And it's just making it harder on all of us to be alive. When we can't all come together and be like, you know what? I don't like the way you're using my taxes, actually. I'm not gonna give you that. I actually don't like the fact that you're using my hard-earned money to exploit people and build more prisons and give cops money and build more nuclear weapons. If one nuclear weapon goes off, bitch, the whole planet's gone. We're all done. If one goes off. One. Do you know how many they have? Thousands. Bake. This is what I'm saying. It's just like imminent threats and fear and like we're all gonna die all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, that's not how life is meant to be lived. Tap into yourself. Tap out of this fucking crazy ass frequency they're trying to get us in. Or that they have us, a lot of us in, to be fair. But like, tap in with yourself. Tap in with yourself and find compassion. That's my message for today. So, because like the attention span, bitch, is just not there anymore. But I appreciate that 6,000 plus of you have been here and listening. Just know that if you're living your life on these apps and for these apps, you're gonna lose yourself in comparison. And what you put out into this world, whether that's online or in person, you're projecting what's going on inside of you So if you think you're real clever and cute, talking shit and kikiing on Twitter and lower corner of the world. Because I know none of us want to live in this kind of shit. If you want to live in this reality, it's because you're one of the people exploiting people. And like okay with that. Because some people exploit people, but they don't really know. It's kind of hard to like ethically participate in this society, to be fair. Because we got to survive. But at the end of the day, like, what are you doing? What is your legacy? People who are legends are not just people who accumulate millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your legacy? So, tap in with yourself. Have compassion for fucking artists and stop hitting us with a stick being like, we'll do something. No. Pause. Food and sharing with my community. Fuck yes, Jazzy. That is quite the legacy. Sharing food, growing food, guys, what? Half of us are sick because we're eating genetically modified shit, bro. Half of us are sick because we're eating cancerous things that are packaged. Half of us are sick because our water is contaminated. Y'all aren't ready for that conversation though, so I'm not even gonna get into it. But pa que sepan, this shit is rigged, but you're fucking magic. You are magic, okay? You are made of all of the stuff that you see outside. That's you. That's a reflection of you. When you go to like a beautiful waterfall and you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this is so magical. You're 70% of that. Maybe a little more. I don't know the exact percentage of water, but we're we have a lot of water, okay? So like tap into your majesty. Tap into how magical you are. Stop being scared. And be kind, okay? Thank you so much for listening to me talk and rant about my life and my feelings. I'm gonna try doing these more because I know that you guys like it when I talk to you, and I actually feel like I really need to. A lot of the times when I'm doing this, I feel like a deep catharsis of just like, wow, I just need to share sometimes. It's scarier and scarier to share because of everything I've been talking about, like how crazy people are and how judgmental everybody is and how crazy the entitlement's gotten about like what you expect from people who you do not know. But we're all going through it. So if my words help you, I'm grateful. And I hope that you have a nice night. Cuídense.